Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and this week we find ourselves on the Caucasus map, which is really starting to grow on me. I gotta admit, we've got water play, we've got TPs, we've got choke points, and yeah, this map is just, it has it all. I didn't notice it when I first started playing on it, but the more I see games and play games, the more I love this map, especially when you're featuring two of the best players we have in this community. We are bound to see a good game. Speaking of, in the south of the map, playing in the color red as the Dutch, we have Martis, good old Martis, one of, if not the most preeminent Dutch player still active in our community, and he makes Dutch work in a lot of ways that are not the standard. So he doesn't just go 4 or 5 bank boom or 5 cav semi-FF. I've seen him do mercenary play, I've seen him do rushes, I've seen him do industrial play, I think, a couple of times. So Martis just makes a lot of different builds work. Gonna pick up 70 food here, which I almost wonder, with that 35 food he picked up, is he going to go for 14 vills? He's still chopping. He's still mining coins, so going to get that 12th vill queued up, meaning he's going to go for the standard 15, which is fine. Just means he's going to get his age up in quicker. And in the north of the map, his opponent in the color blue, playing as the Ottomans, we have Karim, which I think Ottoman is definitely a civ that Karim is pretty well known for. A very, very high-level player. Been seeing a lot of his games recently, and I've been incredibly impressed with just his timings and his ability to keep pressure on his opponent, which a lot of high-level players do, but Karim is especially able to just be suffocating in the ways that he can play. So I'm going to be sending Capitalism as his first card, and has a very Fortress and Age 4 heavy deck. Meanwhile, good old Martis, very standard Dutch decks. He even got the 8 Halbs. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people argue whether 8 Halbs or 7 Skirms is the one to put here. I personally go 7 Skirm, just because at my level, it's really hard to make Halbs work because I can't micro. But definitely like the 8 Halbs there. Certainly a viable option. And gonna get his age up in at 2 minutes 40. Look at that age up time. That is absolutely insane. But meanwhile, Karim already going up with the Naturalists. So 2 pretty quick age ups here, both getting it in before the 3-minute mark. Excellent work. Getting the TP down for Ottoman, already has a shipment and a half saved up. We'll see what he does in the early age 2. We might be seeing something aggressive, might be seeing some forward vills come out, but we might be seeing a more fortress-oriented timing as well. Maybe even some FI plays, some bombards. I've only seen the first minute of this game to make sure it didn't immediately crap out. So we are both going in blind, ladies and gentlemen, as always. And Martis continuing to pick up these treasures in the middle of the map. Might be going to get another food treasure. Dog's really easy Guardian to take out. Could just 2 or 3 shot that thing. Maybe going to do it. Getting the wood for his first bank, and actually has a lot more food than he does wood, so macro's a little bit weird there. I think maybe just because he picked up a ton of food treasures, but gonna be picking up another 35 food. Swimming in the food is Martis. Karim almost age up, 2 shipments ready to go. We'll see what he slams down. He has engineering school and advanced arsenal in his deck. Holy cats. That is not something you see every day. Meanwhile, Martis going to be picking up that stray dog. Going to be an excellent scout. That and the envoy might be able to see any timings from the Ottoman player. And look at that, 700 coin, 700 wood, immediately getting slammed down. So we're going to be seeing something fortress here from Karim, most certainly, if not something maybe even in the industrial age. But stray dog gonna get picked up. Martis has a second bank down along with a barracks. And oh man, I can already see it. So Martis, one of the things I love about his Dutch play, which I've been trying to pick up and I've been mostly failing at, is Martis is the king of the turtle shell, right? He creates this ring of buildings and sometimes even puts in little sections of walls, which makes his town not impenetrable, But with Minutemen and H2 skirms and maybe even an 8 pike shipment, this can be really hard to crack into because he's got his high HP buildings at the front, maybe even going to put up a market there to kind of close off that tree line. And then he keeps all of his vulnerable buildings and his unit production buildings in the back. Can make for a really, really hard defensive push to try to break if you are playing aggressive. And nothing immediately out of Karim, no Cav, no Jans, just 700 coin followed by 700 wood. And there comes the scout and still no forward villagers. So nothing super aggressive from Ottoman, but I think we're going to see some sort of timing here. I mean, it's just inevitable. As Ottoman, you don't really want to let Dutch get away with like a 4-bank boom. And you certainly don't want to get Dutch up to their Fortress Age timing without getting some damage first. That can be really, really bad for Ottoman just because they're going to be behind economically pretty much no matter what they do. And the 4th bank coming out for Martis. And look at this. The turtle shell is already starting to form. There goes the bank there. And I would not be surprised to see a market and some walls come up here for Martis. I've seen him do it in so many games. So I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see something very defensive out of Dutch here. Going to be picking up the 3. Is that? Yeah, 3 stray sheep. So really scouring the map for treasures. And I think that's something a lot of lower level players don't do after age 1. They kind of just leave their explorer lying there. And they don't continue to pick up the treasures, but the treasures are still so good even in early age 2. So you got to pick up those treasures. Good herding here from Martis and good herding I can't talk. Good herding here from Karim as well. Both keeping their food nice and close. And 600 wood coming down from Martis. So that age up has got to be coming soon. He's almost got the food, but he's about 300 coin off. Going to be collecting that really quickly. 14 vils on coin. Holy moly. But the Fortress Age has come in for Karim, and the 5 delis are on the way. Actually, 4 delis, along with 5 Jans and the Explorer. More Jans being produced, more delis coming out. So we're going to be seeing Jan Deli as the composition. Now, Ottoman can throw really anything at you. They can go Jan Abus, they can go Jan Falk, they can go Deli Falk. And it's really hard to stop as Dutch because they're going to hit right as you're transitioning to age 3. So if you don't hold until you can get 9 Reuters or 8 skirms out and Otto is able to do significant damage, it could really spell disaster. But look at it. It's the turtle shell. Ladies and gentlemen, it is up. It is strong, and they are not getting into the airlock, boys. The villagers are going to be safe except for that one. That one is going to die. So maybe a little bit of pathing issues there for Martis, losing that 1 vil. It is now 18 to 20. No, 18 to 19. Martis! Oh my goodness, losing 3 vils there. Just shows the power of the timing. 5 more delis coming out. There are now 9 delis, 10 Jans on the field, 5 more Jans. No, 8 Janissaries. What am I thinking? This is the Fortress Age. Out come the Minutemen. And if you are not ready as Dutch, just look at how tough this hold is going to be. He is at 8 minutes and 40, and there is already a flood of Ottoman units coming in. But the one thing I noticed about Ottoman is his units are very separated here. He's not centralizing them. He's not focused on one building. He's kind of sieging the town center and sieging this artillery foundry, which Martis was able to get up somehow. Excuse me. This action is making me sick. This auto rush is literally making me sick. And out come the skirmishers, maybe going to get a full batch there. He's going to have to trade something. No, he doesn't have a market. Getting one down now. And out with the 9 Reuters. I don't know if I agree with Karim's decision here to siege the town center and not, say, the barracks. But man, this is going to be such a tough hold, especially since the delis are actually going to get on the skirms now. But now the delis are kind of isolated here, going to be taking some good damage from the Reuters. 8 Reuters still remaining. And that can be really tough because when you pop those 9 Reuters, it's very easy for them to just get engaged immediately and get killed. But veteran Janissary is now down, and once again, Karim kind of splitting off a couple of his units here, which is going to keep the Reuters busy, but it is going to mean that his units are going to get picked off. 2 Falconets coming out for Martis. Where did he get the wood. He must have traded it at his market. And Karim making more Janissaries, so completely halting Deli production as he does not have a stable. But these Reuters, they're able to slightly pick at the Jans, and now 5 skirms out, and it's looking actually pretty decent for Martis. The town center has 800 HP left, and out come the 2 Falconets. They're gonna get caught by those Reuters. And I think the town center may go down, 300 HP left, but the Ottoman army has been quite decimated by just this sheer amount of skirm Reuter play from Martis. And now with the 2 Falconets of his own and the 2 Falcons from the Ottoman player going down, yes, he did take the town center, but Dutch may have held it. Martis, the turtle shell, I mean, I don't know. Karim was able to get to the ooey gooey center, but he did not break the shell. Notice that. The shell is standing, and look at how much, if you go back to that fight, there was so much running around buildings and getting caught on stuff that Karim had to do, that it just shows the power of a good base building setup, right? So when you place your buildings haphazardly, you're in a lot of trouble. When you use your buildings to protect your villagers and your economy, it can be a much better use of your infrastructure. Though we did see quite a few vills go down there for Martis at the beginning stages. So now it's 17 vills for Dutch, 22 for Ottoman. And Dutch is going to be even further behind since he does have to build a new town center, had to invest a lot of wood. Now getting his market, getting hunting dogs quite late into the game. But he does have a wealth of shipments on the way. And we do have to remember that Karim was not able to take down any of these banks. 4 banks still churning away lots of coin here. And I wonder if Martis is going to continue producing Falcons. Oh man, now Spahi are on the field. Spahi and a wealth of Janissaries now coming down, and there are not enough Reuters to deal with these Spahi. It is going to be a very tough hold. In fact, I don't know how Karim holds this. Oh no, the villagers. Oh no, get away. Oh, out come the halberdiers. That might be exactly what he needs. But those halbs have to be so careful. They will get shot down immediately by the Jans. And look at the turtle shell proving useful once again. The Spahis cannot get in. Meanwhile, the Falconets get free shots on those grouped Janissaries. What great bombard damage. And the Spahis still looking for an entry point, and the halberdiers are waiting for them. Look at the effect of the turtle shell, ladies and gentlemen. The Spahi getting caught. They're trying to get to the Falconets. 1 going down, now 2. The Reuters are trying to seal them off, but so many Janissaries going down. The Spahis going down as well. And once again, Martis is going to be able to hold. Now halberdiers getting on the Janissaries, and 8 halberdiers coming out. These guys are like veteran hussar once they're able to get on a unit, and Karim calls it. Ladies and gentlemen, the turtle shell has held. Oh my God, that looked so bad for Martis at the end of the, when those 5 Spahi came down on those villagers, I thought the game was over. And then Martis using his turtle shell. How long did those Spahi spend just running around the base? I think they spent a solid 15-20 seconds just looking for an entry point. Meanwhile, those Falconets hammered the Janissaries along with some backup from the skirms and another set of Minutemen, because this is a new town center, and just those few Reuters able to do a little bit of poking damage at the Spahi as they were trying to get in. And then when the 8 halbs popped on the Janissaries, Karim called it, because Karim really has very little behind this. He has only 24 vills, and he has sent all of his military shipments besides, no, he did send 6 Abus gun, but they must not have gotten down the map. Did he have 6 Abus gun at some point? I didn't see them. Maybe it was on the way. I'm not sure. But we did see this 5 Spahi. We saw the 5 Deli. We saw the 8 Jan, the 2 Falk. He does have the Mamluks, but not enough coin to send them. And yes, Martis is behind in vills, but he's going to catch up really quickly. And he still had 4 banks. So, an amazing Dutch hold for all of you prospective Dutch players, or if you want to learn how to play high-level Dutch, guys, Martis is your man. This guy is a Dutch master. I have seen him do so many wonderful things with this Civ, and as someone who pretty much plays only Dutch, it is always a joy to watch him play. But enough of me spouting, okay? I'm fanboying all over the place, and you guys are probably disgusted. So let's move on over to the postgame. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the postgame, and as usual, I am drenched in sweat because that final fight was spectacular. But we see here in the resources, Martis, even with the lost town center, able to outpace Ottoman, which makes Karim's resign at the end make a lot more sense to me. At first, I didn't know why he resigned after that fight, and now I see it. You know, I think Dutch would have continued to snowball. He had his town center back up. He was continuing to make villagers. He still had 4 banks. He still had infrastructure, and he had a market. He was going to start getting placer mines, steel traps, and I don't think Otto can recover because he's not going to be able to get up to the industrial age, and he's already eaten up all of his good shipments in the aggression. So I think a good call there by Karim, though maybe he could have helped out for a little bit longer. I'm not sure. We see the economy and the military here, 63 to 52, and Halberdiers being the most made unit. That is spectacular and something you will very rarely see in Dutch games. The villager count looking pretty even. Actually, Martis taking a pretty big lead until that huge loss at the beginning of the raid, and flatlining for a long time due to the loss of the town center, but then able to pick it back up. And then when we go to military unit population, we see a huge spike for Ottoman, and then the decline, and then a huge spike, and then the final decline. And then, oh man, Martis still had about 30 military pops. So yeah, I definitely think Otto was in a bad spot there after losing that last push. Definitely would have been a slow, painful death, and so Karim deciding to call it, which at the end of the day, I think that was the choice to make. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that high-level game, and I apologize for this upload being a couple of days off of the normal one. I've been busy with some other projects in the back that I don't quite want to reveal yet, so hopefully going to bring out some of those soon. Meanwhile, guys, until I see you in the next game, have a great day, have a great life. See you later.